Yeah.
Shout out to you, Melyssa Ford.
Thank
you know, I mean, you surprise us every day.
You need a book.
Every day that you surprise us.
You need a book, Mel.
You should write a book.
You should really write it. I'm not even joking.
Time.
If Superhead got a book, you sure can get a book.
Stop.
Right.
I would read Melyssa Ford's book.
Thank you.
That's what
I mean, like
Without the salacious shit,
And
I
you
was
can do
still
the audio
She lived a fucking crazy
audio
life.
version.
Yeah.
Oh, word. You narrated
And
yourself?
I would
and
definitely
guess who do
narrate
the
myself.
audio version? Melyssa Ford would do it herself.
Looks like that is finally coming to fruition for Miss Melyssa Ford. Back on the Joe Budden podcast, episode 782, Jim Valedictorian, way back in 2024, at the end of the year, Melyssa Ford was talking with her colleagues, and at the time they recommended to her to write the book. Now, this may have been something that was always in Melyssa Ford's plan. We don't know, but she sat down on Spin the Truth with Lil Rel Howry and recently revealed that the book is finally in the works. And just a quick sidebar, since I've been giving you a list of movies and TV shows that have been mentioned on the JPP, let me know if you like that and want me to keep doing it. I'll update it every week. If you're not familiar with Lil Rel Howry, let me give you a quick recap. He played Rod, the TSA agent in Get Out, and was Oscar nominated for that. He was also on Bird Box, where he played Charlie back in 2018. And that movie was like good and bad at the same time, if that's even possible. Later on in 2023, he went on to play in Dashing Through the Snow with Ludacris. That one was so bad, even the kids were like, please turn this off. But Good Burger 2 came out, and you know Good Burger, that gives us a little bit of nostalgia, and that's always going to be on my watch list. So he played Cecil in that. So those are a few others if you like Lil Rel's style of acting and comedy to add to your watch list. And if you're wondering, much like I was, how Melyssa Ford could end up on a casino-style YouTube channel, it is because her and Lil Rel Howry go way back. They appeared on the ABFF red carpet back in 2020 and photoed together with Brescia Webb at the VIP screening of Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. If you like his and hers, you might like A Fall from Grace. But let's get into what you came here for about this book.
In the entertainment industry, I'm a published writer. I used to be a columnist for men's magazines. I used to write sex and relationship columns. I'm actually in the process of writing my first book. Yes, it has taken many, many years, but the content had to find me.
Melyssa Ford's numbers on her Hot and Bothered podcast don't look too hot, but it looks like she is finally taking up that recommendation to sit down and write her book. And I'm wondering if she is doing this with the help of Mark Lamont Hill or maybe Ian Dunlap, since he was on that episode and co-signed her writing this book. And as of lately, people have been paying attention to his Red Panda logo being on Queenzflip videos and being a supporter of Flip. But that is not anything new. Y'all missed that Easter egg I left for you in the intervention video way back when Flip went to InvestFest. And we'll talk about Queenzflip in another video. Right now, we want to talk about Miss Melyssa Ford. So now that she has announced that she has this new book coming, is it because she really is invested in this and has wanted to work on it for a while? Or is her YouTube channel not proving to be as profitable as she thought it was going to be, leaving the JBP? Or is it those pesky IRS letters that she talks about in this clip?
Open your notes app and give us just the titles of the last 5 notes, not the content.
The first one is IRS notices. I owe some money, and they are being very aggressive.
With that kind of pressure, it's going to be very interesting which direction she takes this book. Now, she did not give any specific details about the book and if she has actually started putting pen to pad, but the mere announcement is enough to get our brains wondering. With her recent rebranding into being more health focused and talking about aging gracefully, menopause, all of those kinds of topics, I'm interested to see who her audience will be. So Lil Rel asked her in the interview, what do men expect of her when she started talking about this book as well as her resume? Similar to how we saw Sasha on the JBP rattle off her resume, Melyssa kind of did this here. And so he's like, well, what do men expect of you? Because, you know, in other words, like, you're beautiful, all this other stuff. So when you start talking like this, like, how does that conversation go, in other words? And this is what she had to say.
You know, a lot of times they just kind of get this glaze over their eyes, you know, when I've said something and they don't understand what I've just said, and they're just like, you know, I start to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, wah, 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 wah.
They be like this.
Yeah. Squirrel.
Listen, y'all get on us for reacting to this content. We're only reacting to the words that are coming out of people's mouths. And we can't react if they don't say things like this. To me, this was wild to say. He then pivots to talking about the magazines and possibly finding her type that way, which was a bit lost on me. Maybe you guys can clue me in the comments what he was referring to with finding her type. And I put the link in the description so you can go watch the full interview. But she then starts talking about the magazines and when she has conversations with veterans. Now, in all the times we've heard Melyssa Ford talk, I have never heard her mention veterans. So is she pivoting into attracting a new audience? Or what is this?
I don't like to call people fans. I like to call them supporters, and especially vets. That really warms my heart whenever vets talk to me and, they talk about the fact that, these magazines, me on the cover, et cetera, kind of got them through difficult times. I'm not going to ask for details as to what those difficult times were and how I helped, but you're welcome.
And who knows, that may be true today, but with her podcast being health and menopause focused, I kind of find that a little hard to believe. Or is this her way of planting the seed for who she wants to buy her book? And before y'all kick my back in and say, because y'all don't watch her pod, y'all don't follow her content. Yes, I do. Obviously, I'm making this video for you, so I follow Melyssa Ford's content. I even rooted for Melyssa Ford to come back on the pod, as well as even said if she did an etiquette for Baddies TV show, that would be dope. But I think there already was one. If she were the host of that, do you know how many people would tune in? That would be the new age top model, okay? And this is one of the things that always bothered me with Melyssa Ford because I did like her on the JBP. I have said that in past videos. I'm always going to support the ladies and give my constructive criticism, okay? But when she says that her supporters are veterans, I remember when she was saying her biggest supporters were people in jail and prison, and I don't know if that is past or present. But either way, it does feel like she is shape-shifting here into what she feels like are trending SEO keywords, and I don't like it, okay? I don't like it. Is this her way of doing way more than rebranding herself, but rewriting her history and to position her audience from one to the other? In 2021, it looks like she may have tried this same thing with releasing a book that was titled Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself, 13 Lessons for a Life Well Lived. And it was a self-help book that is said to be by Melyssa Ford, published in late 2020, early 2021. And it details her journey of self-discovery after significant life changes, offering advice on finding your authentic self, controlling your mindset, and building a more positive life through personal experience and lessons. So it will be interesting to see if she is going to do the same thing in this book or if it will be more of a memoir. Now, I have not been able to find this book anywhere. So if you have read it or have seen it, let me know in the comments. And as a matter of fact, if the comment just isn't getting it done for you, I added a new feature on my website that I launched, chatterboxxmedia.com, where you have the opportunity to submit a voice memo or a chance to be featured in an upcoming video. Not only that, you can submit tips and join the Chatterboxx communities on Reddit and Patreon with new and extended videos coming soon to Patreon. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe on your preferred social. She goes on to talk about her healing journey and that she may be starting a Substack soon where she wants to write a think piece on grief. And that may be part of her healing journey as well. But one thing I did notice when she mentioned her veteran supporters, to me, that was like planting that seed that she is going to go in that direction, returning back to the male gaze and the male audience. When she prided herself on more women-based topics such as self-care, mental health, aging gracefully as a video vixen, as she puts it, as well as a variety of other topics that I don't think the male audience would be tuning in for. It's going to be interesting to see where this journey takes her, but what better way to do it when you got that pressure with IRS notices. And not that it's something so outlandish, because I hear a lot of content creators and independents have this issue. But with her leaving the JBP and her views, it might be the money is getting a little funny. So a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Then she mentions pivoting into manifesting brands and ad reads, which is just more opportunities for her. When you pair it together with unresolved financial realities, it really does feel a bit aspirational, and audiences are getting smarter about that disconnect. The same way she was very quick to put Legend from the Six in her bio after that Drake song. And as a matter of fact, Lil Rel asked her about Drake, and here is what they had to say.
I would just like to remind everybody that Drake just put my name in a song recently. Said I'm a legend.
Play that. But now that makes
it's called
sense.
Give Me a Hug.
So has he tried to shoot his shot for real at you? So with him spinning a block again, you mean to tell me he hasn't tried to like rekindle that fire?
I think I might have been a little bit of a pawn.
You see the way she lights up at being mentioned in Drake's song. And even in this interview, she talks about at one point that she liked the validation and the attention from men. So will she turn that attention that she gets into book sales? Will she return her attention back to the male audience and make them her main audience for the book? Or will this be another self-help book like she dropped in 2021 with women-related issues? And according to her, she may have been a pawn in that back and forth between Drake and Joe Budden. So this time, instead of being the pawn, will she be the one moving the pieces around on the board? And what details will she include in her book? Will it include her time at the JBP, her time as a video vixen? And is she going to be spilling all the details that we have been waiting to know? In the words of Melyssa Ford,
we're waiting with bated breath over here.
Drop your thoughts and let's talk about this in the comments.